Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. We're going to start with LSU and Auburn Saturday night in Death Valley. LSU rolls by 30, 48-18 was the final. Turns out this was a really good matchup for LSU. Auburn just does not have the horses to run offensively with LSU when the Tigers are executing the way that they have the vast majority of the season. And that was evident. I give my keys to the game during the pregame show every Saturday. And my key was a pair of firsts in this game. It was first down in the first quarter. I just felt that if LSU could put Auburn behind the chains offensively, that Auburn would have trouble keeping up and making plays in the passing game. And I felt that if LSU could get ahead in the game, that Auburn would have trouble catching up because they're just not built to chase. Auburn's built to run the football, to run clock, to control the game that way. That's all that Hugh Freeze has at his disposal right now. And so if LSU could turn them into a team that was going to have to chase points, that was going to be really advantageous for LSU, and that's exactly what happened. LSU came out, took the football, scored in 1 minute and 39 seconds. They hit Malik Neighbors down the left sideline. LSU scored on its first 4 drives of this game, a couple touchdowns and a couple of field goals. The defense forced 5 punts in the first half and put Auburn behind the 8 ball early. You look at the first quarter, LSU had 17 points on 216 yards. They held the ball for 10 minutes and 11 seconds of the first quarter. Auburn, conversely, 0 points and just 45 yards in the first quarter. Time of possession there, 4 minutes and 49 seconds. LSU did exactly what I wanted them to do and felt like would be the way to win this game, and it unfolded just the way that we hoped that it would. I thought one of the big plays in the game that we didn't spend a lot of time on the postgame show talking about, and then I go back and kind of reassess things, and that's what makes this Monday show a little bit different than the postgame show. This is immediately after the game. And I thought when Auburn closed it to 20-10 with that field goal with 11 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third quarter and Caleb Jackson ripped off the huge kickoff return, I just thought that was a massive jolt for LSU. LSU immediately cashes in on it offensively and takes control of the game, and they don't relinquish it. LSU in the second half of this game was absolutely surgical on offense, as we've come to expect them. You look at the drive chart from LSU in the second half. They had a 6-play, 39-yard touchdown drive that I just talked about after the Jackson run back. They had a 4-play, 67-yard touchdown drive, an 11-play, 75-yard touchdown drive, and a 7-play, 48-yard touchdown drive. All 4 times LSU got the football in the second half, they went down and got touchdowns. Just awesome, awesome work by Jayden Daniels, by this offensive line, by the receiving corps. It was a couple of different guys, Kyron Lacey getting involved. The running backs have been awesome. We saw Josh Williams and John Emery get in there and make some plays. Everything LSU is doing offensively right now is awesome, specifically in the second half. I went back and looked at all the second half drives in SEC games this year. We've now got 5 of them in the rearview mirror. It's Mississippi State, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Missouri, Auburn. Across those 5 SEC games, LSU has had 24 offensive possessions. In 24 offensive possessions, you've scored 15 touchdowns and made 5 field goals. That's 20 of your 24 drives you've gotten points on. You missed a field goal in the Ole Miss game. You've only punted twice, and then you ran out of time in the other drive, which was the end of the Ole Miss game. But really, 24 drives, LSU's punted twice in the second half in SEC play. It is a well-oiled machine on offense. There is nothing that this team cannot do. And the efficiency's there through the air. It's there on the ground. And I kind of, on Wednesday and Thursday, was toying with the idea with, maybe Ole Miss, Missouri, and Mississippi State are just terrible. They don't have good defenses, and that's why LSU looks as good as they do. Maybe Auburn, who's been a little bit better on defense, is going to come in here and offer a little bit of resistance, and that'll make us pump the brakes. Well, far from it. It was just a clinic right down the field, whenever they wanted to, wherever they wanted to, however they wanted to. That's what LSU did. It was fantastic to watch, and that casts a little more doubt on the fact that this is a team that's just beating up on bad defenses. Like, it's just a really, really good offense to this point. And I think the thing, when I watch it, that's got to be so demoralizing for a defensive coordinator is not that it's balanced. It's not that they've got stars on the outside. It's not Jayden's the thing that's most deflating, I think, when you look to try to defend this LSU team is that you can do just about everything right. You can do a good job in coverage. You can have a guy win off the edge on a pass rush. And then when he wins off the edge on a pass rush, he can't catch Jayden Daniels. And he just runs away from these linebackers and defensive ends that don't have the foot speed, and he runs for either a first down or a big play, a 30-yarder. Seems like he's doing that 2-3 times a game, just gliding out of there. So when you're a defensive coordinator and you're looking at this, whether it's Ron Roberts or whoever the case may be, it's like, we gotta deal with Neighbors, who's really difficult to cover. And if you were listening to Gordy Rush on the sideline or on the Brian Kelly press conference that we aired earlier, like, they're doubling him a lot of the time. Well, Brian Thomas has had monster games. Kyron Lacy was huge in this game. Then they're starting to run it with Diggs. And so that's all the conventional stuff that you're looking at. And then you look at the unconventional things they're doing with the speed, the sheer foot speed that he's got at quarterback. I mean, he's in a short list of SEC quarterbacks that I've seen. I would put Nick Marshall at Auburn in that category. I would put John Rice Plumlee in that category from Ole Miss in terms of just pure speed, not running ability in total. Cam was a great runner. Manziel's a great runner. Tebow's a great runner. None of them ran like this, with this kind of speed. And the result is just an incredibly efficient offense that's just hammering people in the second half. I sit here and I look at this offense, and I look at the efficiency with which it's playing, and I look at the point totals they're putting up, the statistics every single week with Jayden going over 400 yards again and again and again, and I go, my God, could you just get one stop in Oxford? Could you get one stop in Oxford? Because if you just get one, this whole thing feels different. We're going to talk about the defense coming up, and Auburn's awful on offense, and we'll get to that. But this is a championship-level offense. Western Division, SEC, national championship-level offense. In an era of the sport where offense is king, where title games are being scored in the 30s and 40s, this group's got what it takes. They just couldn't get off the field against Jordan Travis on Labor Day weekend or in Oxford. And so as fun as it is to watch this offense, and as exhilarating as it is to watch this offense, and as awesome as they play and as much as they win, you still look back and go, we already got 2 losses because the defense can't get it figured out. But on the offensive side, man, I look at these drive charts week after week, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. And it's not like the defense is setting up with short fields or you're getting great. You're going the length of the field most of the time. I mean, they had a couple of shorter touchdown drives in this game where they went 39 yards and 48 yards and had good field position. But they also went 11 plays, 75 yards, 4 plays, 67 yards, 4 plays, 75 yards. I mean, these are length of the field touchdown drives that don't take hardly any time off the clock. Just zoom, hot knife through butter. And Jayden Daniels continues to just play at a ridiculous level week in and week out. 20 of 27 in this game, 325 yards, 3 touchdowns, did have the tipped interception. He got the ball to Neighbors for 6 catches, Lacy for 4, Caleb Jackson had a couple catches. Every time he touches the ball, something wild happens. He's running guys over, long kickoff returns. He's fun to watch. Mason Taylor had his normal 2 catches. Aaron Anderson came back. Brian Thomas was quiet in this game, but that's okay because Kyron Lacy broke out. He had the big 49-yarder to John Emery. He had the touchdown pass to Josh Williams. It's a lot of options. I don't know that this group has got the star power, the all-pro and Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, what those guys became, and the number 1 pick in the draft, and Joe Burrow, who's already gotten to 2 Super Bowls. Like, the star power's not there, but the efficiency is every bit that good. In the postgame, I was talking with my guys, Brandon Taylor and Marlon Favorite, and I was looking at LSU. They're averaging in SEC games 554 yards of total offense and 42.8 points. So basically 43 points per game. For reference, the 2019 averaged 47 points per game. So you're like 4 points shy of the 2019 team in terms of SEC games. It's it's awesome. And Brian Kelly said today in his press conference, like, I hope that y'all aren't taking this for granted because this is really something. And it means a lot coming from a coach. We heard that from Jay Johnson all spring long, talking about Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens. Like, I hope you're watching this. I hope you're not taking it for granted. I don't know that we are, but the fact is that they've already lost a couple of games because the defense just simply couldn't get enough stops. So it was good. It was an excellent performance on offense. 48 points in the game for LSU, an easy second half win that they didn't really have to sweat at all, and that was the goal. I talked about on Thursday's show. I said, look, however this thing goes against Auburn on Saturday night, that's going to frame the conversation against Alabama, because not much that happens against Army is going to move the needle either way. So I think that right now, if you're LSU and you're an LSU fan, you're an LSU player or coach, like, you feel pretty good about the way things are. Your defense played much better. Your offense was brilliant again, and you cruise into an out-of-conference game and then the bye with a nice win over a divisional rival, maybe the last time they play here for a few years. So, hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.